Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Denise Williams. I'm your financial coach, and I'm joined by Denise Francis Robinson, your creativity coach. Hi, Denise. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right, great. We are going to touch on a subject that in financial coaching is a big one, and it's debt. Now, for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, anyone who has to make decisions, a lot of times we don't have enough resources, so we borrow. Okay, whether it's the credit card, the mortgage, the student loan, you name it, it exists. And I want to position that the reason this creative practice is so super critical is that many of us are not just carrying debt in a numbers perspective, but we're carrying emotional debt. And the emotional debt, we may feel guilty, we may have felt pressured, we may feel like we're less than perfect, we may feel like we're a victim. You name it, the emotion is there. And so the beautiful thing about this creativity work is that it allows you to be present to where you are right now. As a financial coach, when you hire me, I will take you through the nuts and bolts and help you to eliminate your debt in half the time. When you hire Denise Francis Robinson as your creativity coach, she can help you to connect to your spirit so that the victim, the anger, the confusion, whatever you're carrying in terms of your debt, it can be cleared. So you can very well imagine that having, two people on your team with very, very different skills is something that can benefit you so greatly. So then I'm going to turn the spotlight over to you, and
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to take us through an exercise related to our debt.
All right. Thank you so much, Denise. Well, remember now, a lot of these exercises that you will engage with are really just little moments in time that you're taking for yourself to get yourself centered, to clear your mind, to put you in a better mindset, with a better feeling space to deal with whatever your challenges are that are coming through on a daily, weekly, monthly, minutely basis. And so, like we had last module with our collage, right, where you relied on the magazines that you have around the home to supply you with with images that reflected these goals or these intentions that you had. What I'm going to ask you to do today is you are going to just use your thoughts and your breath to go into a little bit of connecting with your consciousness, just like we did when we did the free writing. But this time, it's just going to be a line that you're going to create, the journey of the line. And then you're going to grab a few colors, like I have here on my palette already. And you're just going to work with the colors however you are feeling. So we're very much going to tap into our feeling as we make the lines. Now, I have my little easel and paper set up here. And what I'm going to ask you to do is those 4 breaths that you usually use to center. I'm going to say that I'm going to take it for granted that you have done so, because by now you get into the spirit of things. And I'm going to ask you to actually continue with the breath, but tapping into that area, that thought process that occupies you sometimes around debt, and see if you can use this process to either gain some clarity about what to do next, or how exactly am I feeling about this, and what is this feeling doing to me, and so what do I do about it, and so on. So just for a few minutes, you're just gonna I'm using a big wide tip sharpie marker. You can probably use any other marker, it doesn't matter, or even a pencil or a pen even. And I'm just gonna make the line move. And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna think, what's on my mind? My credit card, or my the mortgage, or a debt I owe someone. I don't know. You have a better idea than I do. And what I'm actually doing is just making the pen move, or the marker move. And as you move it, you're breathing into the different ideas that are coming up for you. And so those 4 breaths that you did at the beginning, you are going to extend that throughout this idea as you think through emotionally, as Dennise said, what's happening for you as you think debt, your debts, that emotional debt, that you're feeling that, somehow you haven't done the best for yourself, you're owing yourself something. And if you notice what's happening, is that as I move the pen, the lines are crisscrossing and multiplying. I'm getting little tiny little spaces occurring. And there's some bigger, broader spaces. And so you do that maybe for about 3 minutes, the same kind of length of time that you would use when you're doing your free writing. And then once that happens, now you're going to start with your color. So I just have a set of colors here. I'm not really thinking, okay, I have to have some green for the grass and some yellow for the. No, I just have color, and here I have this lines moment. And so with that, my paints, and I'm just gonna dip, just I want to say mindlessly. I'm just, in other words, I'm not controlling the thought of what color for what, but I've just kind of just seen the paint, put the brush in, and I came up with red. Okay, now you might say, but you had to think about the colors to put them on the palette, and then you got the red. Yes and no, because the palette, I was using it for some other project, and the colors were just like leftovers. So I said, let me go with the leftovers, let me maximize. And okay, so red occurs for me, and you might say, no, what does the red represent? Red can represent so many different things. And so we can start saying there's passion, there's fire, there's wild energy, there is stop, and then, okay, so my brush is still this red, and I had some purple, so I'm just putting some purple into the spaces, and you continue, finding color and just putting it randomly. But guess what? Because I'm talking at you here now, probably not getting the fullness of the exercise, because really what's required when you're doing this is that you're really quiet, and you're going inwards, and just allowing what's coming up for you internally to be expressed with the color or line. And I have a completed one here, and this is what I did before. Now, this is the shape of my debt. This is the energy of my debt. But guess what? The picture is telling one story, but the experience now is what I really want to share today. That's the key thing, because it's what's happening for me in terms of thinking about debt as I'm actually making the painting, as I'm actually doing it, so that when it's finished, yes, it has a certain look and a certain feel. If you notice, there were some nice bright colors around here, some pink and some green, lime green. But then somehow the colors started getting muddy. Yeah, you're seeing that the muddy colors up here, where the colors are kind of mixed into each other. And so, what that says to me now is that at first I was like, trying to be more lighthearted about death, but then somehow these muddy colors kind of seeped in. And then with that, I started saying, what is it? What is it I'm clouding over and not wanting to look at? It's actually becoming representing itself as these more, you know, what I call in common language when we're talking about this in art school, we talk about dirty colors or mud colors, when the colors are not mixing so cleanly. And so for me, it kind of suggested something that I'm not looking at, that I need to get clear on. And so in that little moment, I was able to come into a realization of being more clear in how I approach issues around finances. And that might happen or not for you, but try this freeing kind of exercise of just making the lines and then grabbing colors. Even with crayons, you can do that, or markers, and just coloring in. And then, notice what thought forms or what internal dialogue is going on as you do it. And as usual, what I'm going to suggest is that this really happens like in a moment, and when you finish, it can escape you. So I'm going to suggest that if you have a journal, I mean, I have this giant one here, and Dennise has hers, but just any book will do. Make a couple of notes of what possibly came up that you think was important. Um, and see where it takes you. Yeah. So that's me. As usual, your imagination is your most powerful ally. It's a powerful tool, and um your creative adventures are perfect for anything. Just having some fun, helping you to get unstuck, helping you to find a new way of solving problems. So many different benefits to a creative practice. I'm going to always encourage you to pick up the creative practice at any time. All right. So then that's me. I don't know what's happening.
Yes.
Oh, did you try to do
Okay.
this?
Well, I did it, but before
First
I
time?
share,
Yes.
I wanted to just talk about energy for a minute,
Yes.
um, and vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
Energy and vocabulary, because for me, I don't like carrying credit card debt at all. I'm very aware of the interest, very aware of the fees, the penalties, and such.
Yeah.
What has happened to me though, as I continue to explore the creative energy behind money, I can tell you that when debt comes, dig. Find out where you feel victimized in your life, where you feel not enoughness in your life.
Yeah.
And in this
Good point.
space of digging for not enoughness, digging for where you feel like maybe a victim,
Exactly.
why is the victim energy, for me at least, so important? Because I'm referring to research done of 30,000 CEOs by Positive Intelligence Group.
Mm.
And their survey results show that in the victim energy, you want someone else to do something for you. And because the person hasn't done their part, you feel victimized. And in particular, when it comes to money, in the victim energy, you do something, but you really just want to spend the money. You don't want to do the work to get the money because it may trigger other emotional issues such as perfectionism. And so here comes debt allowing you to just spend the money, allowing you to do what the victim energy wants you to do is just spend, not plan, not work, not talk to people, not do a budget, not have the hard conversations, not come up with ideas that may not work and then share those bad ideas with other people. You don't want to do that in victim energy because coming out of victim energy will allow you to find more money. The other challenge with victim energy and why debt is so seductive is that if your victim energy is tied in with people pleasing, right? You want to please someone, you want to not create a fuss, you want to avoid an argument. In that people pleasing energy, you open the door to become victimized. Because remember, financially, the victim only wants to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
That is why debt exists. That is why debt doesn't become a tool for us, it becomes a burden. Because if you're worthy of finding money, working with money, with a plan of money, debt is just a tool. Debt is no different than a paintbrush. It is literally no different. Once you have overcome, and how do you overcome the victim energy? You really change in your vocabulary. So how I felt about my credit card, I thought I was, not, I don't like having it, I'm planning to pay it off as soon as possible. But I thought about why it occurred, why it happened. And I know that I was in victim energy. I know, going through a divorce, having a child with special needs felt very victimized.
Yeah.
Okay. And yet, though, because I work a lot with you, Dennise, in the creative process, this is what came up for me. And I hope I'm not sticking too long. I see my screen sticking.
Oh, yes. I don't know. Yes. Ah, there we go. Ah, okay. So what was happening as you were doing, Denise? What was happening? In terms of the
For
self talk,
me, it was
where
a clearing.
or the
It
feeling,
was
not
a clearing. The
Mhm.
feeling I felt, I was annoyed at first, but then I felt happy. So that's what the butterfly came up and the angel wings and the baby and the heart and
Yeah,
positive images for me
yeah.
because
Actually, there.
oh boy, we're sticky. We're having these technology issues. So I hope it resolves quickly. But for me, I just want to say that you doing this creativity work allows me. Oh, you're back, Denise. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes, you were saying.
No, I was actually just saying I was seeing the butterfly, the wings, and so on, and I was actually looking at is how yours started one way and then it opened up, and whereas
Yeah.
when I did it previously, it started out, oh, yeah, I'm good, I understand that, or whatever. I'm not feeling so badly. And then as I went along, for some reason, I started getting these shadow images or colors coming up. So it was saying,
Uh,
you need to look a little bit closer.
yeah, and guess what this means? For
Yes.
those of you who are in this training, I this is a great opportunity for you to reach out to a financial coach because I have tools that will help you to eliminate your debt in half the time. And one of the big ones is called asset swapping, where you list literally everything in your house, including your own skills, talents, and abilities. That is a journey. It's a very emotional journey that my clients go through because we undervalue ourselves so terribly. And because we took decisions in the past to undervalue ourselves, when we have to sell our things or give up things quickly, it's a double hurt. Okay. And so this creative process is now how you heal that double hurt. Because if you have to make some decisions to raise cash quickly to clear off debt or, achieve a goal that you have in mind, you should also have a self-care plan in action. And that's why working with the two Denises is so incredible. It will be the best investment in your life to have pretty much the both of us on, as your coaches, because now you will be practical. Yeah, because we're going to be eliminating your debt in half the time because I have the tools. And of course, you can Google me, financially focused. And then Dennise Francis Robinson's with her training, yeah, can give you these, basically every training that you've experienced in these modules. Dennise can take you in depth probably 6 weeks for just one because you've just scratched the surface. Am I right or am I right?
Yes, it's just a little nibble, here and there, to give people an idea of what how creativity can benefit you, in different, as I said,
Yeah,
so many different ways, and
yeah,
so we're talking about finance, but we're also talking just about that space of self love, just coming
yes,
back to self.
yes, yes. And again, let me just reinforce one of the critical things I will leave you with in managing your debt is step into awareness of the victim energy so that you can release it. Yeah. Figure
Mm,
out where you feel the most injustice in your life
mm,
and do some healing work. However that takes, you know, um, however that takes shape. And as I said, Dennise and I, we stand here ready to support you, ready to be with you. So, as I said, you have our contact information. Please jump on, reach out to us. We are here to support you. And I just want to thank you so much, Dennise,
and
for doing
you.
this program with me, this module, this conversation.
Yes, yes. It's a really unique blend of, your skills, your financial, power self, and my
Yes, thank you.
power self, and let's see
Yes.
how they both can just harmonize.
Yeah, man, it is an absolute opportunity to heal. And so I am blessed. I bless you. And for everyone who has, joined us on this journey, regardless of the technical hiccups or not, we thank you, we bless you, and we will see you in the next conversation.
All
Bye,
right, all
Dennise.
right. Bye bye. Take care.